What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is the third and final video of our 91-92 Fleer basketball three-part series. So if you've been following along, in the first video we opened up a wax box of 36 packs and we did pretty well. We ended up getting 13 Michael Jordans, including one of these Pro Visions. Unfortunately, a lot of the cards in that box were really off-centered, like you can see here, and others just had a lot of damage on the edges that you can see there. But we ended up, hitting 13, which is pretty good out of 36 packs, and we also got the complete Pro Vision set. So there was the Michael Jordan, and then we've got the other 5 players as well. Hit 2 Barclays there. Every one of them is off-centered though, and again, that was just my experience with that entire box. Damaged cards and off-centered cards, but otherwise it was a pretty decent box. The cost of that for me was about 60 bucks. Again, that was about the cheapest I could find at the time on eBay. In the second video, we opened up the cello box, which was just a ridiculous amount of Jordan cards. There was 26 of them. Fortunately, almost every one of them, I would say, grades a 9 or a 10. And we ended up hitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 base Jordans alone. So that's just phenomenal. 26 of those in that box. Overall, there was a few damaged cards, but centering in that box was really nice. We also ended up getting this complete Ricky Sensations with some duplicates, but we got all 10 of them, including the Gary Payton. A little off-centered on some of them, but that was a lot of fun. So of the 2 boxes, and that box, by the way, cost me about $100. So of the 2 boxes, I'd have to go with the cello. I keep saying cello. Why do I do that? Jumbo box. And if it were a cello box, it'd be pronounced cello, not cello. I am a musician, so this is probably why I keep doing that. So forgive me. I'm annoying myself with it. Hopefully I'm not annoying you guys. In this video, we are going to I can't even fit this thing on my screen. It's so big. This is a rack pack box of 24 rack packs. I have never opened a basketball rack pack before. Baseball back in the day. So this will be kind of exciting. My understanding is there's these Schoolyard Stars. Here's a Chris Mullin. My understanding is there's 1 per pack, so we'll get 24 of those if that's the case, which is really exciting. Unfortunately, there are no big names in the Schoolyard Stars. Chris Mullin might actually be one of the biggest names, so they're not really valuable. Unlike the Jumbo box, which did not contain any Pro Visions, so if you're looking to get extra Pro Visions from a Series 1 Jumbo box, they do not contain them. They only have the Ricky Sensations. My understanding is that the rack packs do have the Pro Visions. They do not have the Ricky Sensations, but they have these Schoolyard Stars and the Pro Visions. Doesn't say anything on here about them. The wax packs did mention Pro Visions, so I could be wrong. But if I remember watching some other people open these, they had them. If we do not get the Pro Visions in these, that will be very, very disappointing, because I was hoping to get some more Michael Jordan Pro Visions, especially after spending $125 on this box. Again, the cheapest you can find on eBay, at least at the time of October 2024. All right, so obviously we're looking to get Michael Jordan more than anything else, and we'll dig in and see if we can get some Pro Visions. If not, we'll just have fun. All right. All right, so we got our box open, and let's see, we've got 42 cards per pack. So the Jumbo box actually had the most cards per pack. I believe there were, I already forgot now, it was like 53, I think. There were 24 packs per box. Now this has 24 packs per box, but there's only 42 cards per pack. So let's see what it says. 1991, Fleer Basketball, look for new NBA Schoolyard Stars, randomly packed card inside each pack. So you'll get a different Schoolyard Star, but it looks like one in each pack. And 42 cards. And you can see the back there of one of the Schoolyard Stars now. The interesting thing about these, so this is cellophane. So I should say cellophane, right? This particular wax pack is see-through. Now, some people are into collecting packs where you can see a star player, such as Michael Jordan. I wish we could see the front of the pack, because to me that would make sense. The back of the card and the back of the pack, I'm not so sure about that. That might have some value. Some people might be into that. I'm just not into that because I want to be able to see. So I'm not really going to be interested in what's, hanging on back here, especially if it's the backs of the cards. So I'm not even going to worry about that. I'm just going to rip right through these packs. I was looking to see if there's anything. So here it talks about 6 NBA Schoolyard Star cards. Well, if there's 6 of them, we're going to get a ton of duplicates. So we got 24 packs. Still doesn't say anything about the provisions, so we're not going to find out until we open up. All right, so I mentioned that I have not opened up basketball rack pack or mini rack packs because I'm not sure if there's a way to go about this without damaging the cards. To me, it just seems a little awkward. That's the only thing that keeps me away from rack packs. And hopefully that doesn't take up too much of this video, but here's our first section. These should all be Series 1. Pretty sure these are Series 1 cards. That's what I've been doing with the, so here's Joe Dumars. This is Series 1. So yeah, all 3 of these boxes we've been going through, these are all Series 1. And there's a John Stockton, a Magic Johnson. All right, and let's go through our middle section here. Hopefully I'll get the hang of this once we get into opening a few more of these. Right now I'm struggling a little bit. Let's see, maybe I pinch these, pull it apart. That seemed to do a little bit better. All right, so here's the middle section. We got a Reggie Miller, league leader, Scottie Pippen. So far these cards are in good shape, and I could kind of see, oh, here's our first Michael Jordan. I could kind of see how these would be in good shape because, well, this one's a bad, terrible cut though. Not only is it off center, but it's like diagonal cut. Really misaligned there. That's too bad. The corners are sharp though, which I was saying that I could see how the way these are packed. Here's Robert Parrish, how they would end up being in pretty good condition. Yeah, so all these in this pack were really, at least in this middle section, were really miscut. I think we went through those. All right, so we got one Jordan so far. We got one more section of this pack to open, and this is going to have our first Schoolyard Star. Looks like 2 of 6. Whoever that might be, we'll find out. Got a David Robinson. These seem to be a little bit better centered. Just that midsection, that middle pack was really, really bad. Here's an Isaiah Thomas. Looks pretty cool. very 90s. Reminds me of Trapper Keeper, which I think those came around in the 80s, actually. Well, first in the 80s. All right, so that is our first rack pack. On to number 2. And hopefully we'll encounter some provisions. If not, that would be disappointing because I was really hoping to get more of those, and there were none in the jumbos. So John Stockton, Magic Johnson. But as long as these are well centered, they're very well protected in these rack packs. I actually almost got both of these opened at once. You see, I almost got this lower one, but I missed it right there. I'll have to work on that again in just a second. James Worthy. Not the Jordan. This is a Jordan. And it's a little bent right there. Otherwise, it's in great shape, but not perfect. We got a bunch of these in the... I only got one of these in the wax box, these league leaders. Got a bunch of these in the jumbo box. And the one I did get in the wax box was... pretty bad off. I forget if it had some... I was trying to adjust my lighting here. If it had some damaged corner or something, I forget now. But I was a little disappointed because it was the only one and was not in good shape. All right, so this one has our Schoolyard Star at the bottom. We got a David Robinson. And this one's a Kevin McHale. That one's looking pretty good too. I suspect we'll easily complete this 6-card set. I've already got 2 of the 6 cards. Yeah, I'm probably going to whine in this video if there are no provisions. I really am. And if that's the case, if you're a fan of getting the provisions, you might want to stock up on some the wax boxes. All right, on to pack number 3. And that's not the Jordan. That's a Patrick Ewing. Here's a Mitch Richmond, John Stockton, Dennis Rodman, Pat Riley. So there's our first section. Now on to our middle section. If I can get both of these open, that would help. Starting to slowly get the hang of this. Dominique Wilkins, Chris Mullin, and our last section, which has the Schoolyard Stars. Look like another Kevin McHale from what I saw. There's a Vlade Divac. And there's a Michael Jordan base card. Pretty good shape. It's a little off-centered, so not nearly as nice as the ones we pulled from the jumbo box. Those were really nice condition, all 7 of them. Yeah, aside from centering, that's in pretty good shape. There's a Patrick Ewing. And yes, it is a Kevin McHale. These are, I guess they do have borders, but it's interesting how that would categorize as centered, if they even is such a thing because of the angle. So who knows, those might grade better. I wouldn't grade them though. Those are not valuable cards. We're on to pack number 4. And if I could get all 3 of these open at once. So here was a Larry Bird at the back. But again, I didn't even know that until I opened it. So some people might say, hey, I'll keep that unopened. But it's just not worth it. Even if it's a Michael Jordan, I'm just not going to mess with it. Not the Jordan. There's Mitch Richmond, John Stockton. I would think by now, not the Jordan, I would think by now, if there were going to be provisions, we would have gotten them. It's not looking good. There's a Sean Kemp slam dunk. Larry Bird. So this, if that's the case, this rack box is really gonna have to find another way to impress me. There's a Vlade, which there's another Michael Jordan base card. So apparently, just like the wax box, when you see a Vlade Divac, a Michael Jordan's gonna come up. Unfortunately, it too is off-centered. So they're crisp, very crisp corners. Not going to complain about that, but the centering is not great. And then we've already got half of our set. Here's a Kevin Johnson. So we're halfway through completing the Schoolyard set. Maybe we'll get a couple of those sets. All right, on to our next pack. Yeah, I just feel like we would have gotten a provision by now. I could have sworn though. So if that's the case, I'm kind of bummed about that. Not the Jordan. Phil Jackson, Akeem Olajuwon. If you're wondering if I am sick of these cards, because when I started the first video, I was so excited. And I was, and I still am, but I've hit so many duplicates now between these three boxes that, yeah, now it's just about seeing how many Jordans we can get, or how nice of a condition we get them in. I'd be more excited, of course, if there were provisions. But yeah, I definitely got my fix. I will not, here's a Olajuwon, I will not need to buy any more boxes. There's another Olajuwon base card. And another Kevin Johnson. Maybe one day I'd buy another wax box or two. For provisions. I would like that Michael Jordan to be in a better condition, but I could always just buy the card. Probably would make more sense rather than spending the money on another box. Probably make a lot of sense, actually. All right, Akeem Olajuwon, Phil Jackson. Tim Hardaway. On to the middle section of this pack. Joe Dumars. John Stockton. That one's got like specks and spots everywhere. That's no good. Luckily, our Magic Johnson is in good shape. All right, and then the last section, we have another Schoolyard. It looks like someone different. Whoever it is, it's number 5 of 6. There's another Akeem Olajuwon. And this one is probably our best one, Karl Malone. In fact, if I remember, that is the best one. So we've already got, let's see, we got Karl Malone, Kevin Johnson, Kevin McHale, Isaiah Thomas. So we've got 4 of the 6. I know there's a Chris Mullin in there because we saw it on the cover of the box. After that, I'm not sure who's left. There's a Tim Hardaway. James Worthy. Not the Jordan. Not that many Jordans so far. 4 Michael Jordans. At this point, we were racking them up. Pun intended. Racking them up in the jumbo packs. John Stockton, another Magic Johnson. It's always nice to get Magic Johnson. Still no Michael Jordans. And the last section of our rack pack. This is 6 of 6 on the Schoolyard Stars, Alvin Robertson. Whoops. Hope I didn't just do that, but it looks like that's going to be a little damage there. Dominique. Here's a Michael Jordan. These are just poorly centered. You can see the red border. It's a shame because the corners are probably even more crisp than any of the cards I pulled from that jumbo box, but the centering in these rack packs is not that great. Gary Payton. This one has some crazy damage there. And here's our Alvin Robertson. So we've got 5 of the 6. We just need Chris Mullin to complete that set. That will be very easy to do. So, my fault for thinking there was provisions in these rack packs. Obviously there's not. So, probably, since they were the most expensive, $125 for this box, and that was the absolute cheapest I could find. We've got a league leader, but again, the centering's not great. Corners are super sharp. Just not a great, not the best bang for your buck. These rack packs. The Schoolyard Stars, fun, but not really worth anything. And it just seems like we'll be getting more Jordans out of our jumbo box than what we get out of this. Still got a long ways to go, so I could be wrong. There's a Vlade Divac, which means a Michael Jordan should be coming up. And there it is. Still got the same problem with the centering. The top is really thin. That's 3 of them now. Makes me appreciate the ones I got out of the jumbo box that much more. Their centering was spot on. And there's another Alvin Robertson. So we're not quite there getting the Schoolyard set. Oh, Michael Jordan. See, this was the first card, which means if they were see-through, I would have kept this pack unopened. This one's in... Again, the corners are okay. It's just the centering, this red border, seems to be this way on a lot of these cards. I wonder if this whole box is going to be this way, where the red border is thicker on the bottom than the top. We've already pulled 8 Jordans and 3 league leaders and 3 base, so we're actually doing all right now. There's a Sean Kemp. We're actually doing okay with the Jordans. I said our goal was to hit 50 total. We're almost there. Between the 3 boxes, we're almost there. There's a John Stockton, Dennis Rodman, Pat Riley, not the Jordan, Phil Jackson, Hakeem Olajuwon. And our last little, and there's the Chris Mullin for our Schoolyard Stars. So we complete the set, which is nice. Reggie Miller, Scottie Pippen. There's another Jordan, the All-Star Game. The centering looks a lot better on this one. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a tiny little print flaw, that little white speck. It never fails. That seems to happen when you finally get a card that's well centered, and then there's some other kind of flaw. Robert Parrish, Karl Malone, and this completes our Schoolyard Star set, the Chris Mullin. All right, so we knew we were going to get that. The odds were just there all along. Since there's only 6 in the whole set, and we've got 24 that we're going to get. So now we just hope to get more than one set. At least 2. 2 would be nice. There's a Sean Kemp again. About halfway through this box already. Now that I've figured out how to open these rack packs. Gotta lay them flat on the desk to do this. Dennis Rodman, John Stockton, Pat Riley again. Not the Jordan. I see a Phil Jackson. Hakeem Olajuwon. Looks like Pat Riley and Phil Jackson are always in the same pack. And looks like we got another Chris Mullin Schoolyard Star, which means we may almost be on our way to getting 2 sets. Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem Olajuwon base. Dominique. So let's leave this one up, and then we'll see where we're at. So we've got 2 Chris Mullins right there. We got 2 Alvin Robinsons. We got a Karl Malone, 2 Kevin Johnsons, 2 Kevin McHales, and 1 Isaiah Thomas. I was about to leave those down there, but that's my workspace for opening these packs. So we're about halfway to hitting 2 sets of the Schoolyard Stars. All right, so we've confirmed there's no provisions. So really, the best we can hope for is just some more Jordans in tip-top shape. So Larry Bird, Joe Dumars. So I am really just going to try to whip through these as fast as possible, especially for you guys who have been watching all 3 of these videos. Thanks for sticking it out, because this is getting pretty tedious at this point. If this is your first video and you're just here to check out what's simply in a rack pack, I hope you're enjoying it. I would say if you go in expecting no provisions, then it's a pretty good deal. I went in it expecting those, so I was a little disappointed. That's my fault, not doing the research. Isaiah Thomas. All right, so like I said, let's just see what we can get with the Michael Jordans. Larry Bird, Mitch Richmond, John Stockton, Dennis Rodman, not the Jordan, Pat Riley. I was expecting Phil Jackson. Maybe he's in the next little grouping here. James Worthy. All right. And our last little bit, we got Isaiah Thomas, number 2 of 6. Here's another Jordan. Poor centering once again on the red borders, but the corners are crisp. Corners are crisp, so can't complain about the corners. Gary Payton. Richie Miller. And there's our Isaiah Thomas. Probably weren't even really worth sleeving up, but saying, like I said, I hope to get maybe 2 sets or so together, and just in this guy at least have the complete set. Individually, it's no big deal. Maybe the Karl Malone. It's on. That's about it. All right, so we're definitely about halfway through our box. Here's Keem Olajuwon. Really poor centering on that. Phil Jackson. And anybody else? Anybody else? No. I keep hitting the camera here. I got so many stacks of these cards on my desk. It's ridiculous. Not the Jordan. Here's a Jordan. Same old story. Crisp corners, bad centering. It's another league leaders though. We got 4 of those in this box so far. So we're definitely hitting plenty of Jordans. Just getting them in good grade, good centering is just not happening. It's not happening. There's a Scottie Pippen, so he would have been on the front too. There's a Jordan. That centering's a little bit better, but if you can see, there's a little white speck, so that seems to be the trend. Once we finally hit the better centering, then there's another flaw on the card. Robert Parrish, Karl Malone, Dominique, and we have Kevin McHale for our Schoolyard. All right, we still got about, I want to guess, 10 rack packs left. Still plenty of chances here to hit some Jordans. Yeah, the centering on these is not that great. Here is another Jordan on the front. It's a league leader again. This one seems to be the best overall. It's not perfect centering, but it's much better. No flaws, sharp corners. So that's, that could grade it maybe a 9. Probably not worth sending in unless it's 10, because it's not his base card. But we're steadily getting Jordans, so that's nice. I have just realized I have not hit a particular Jordan yet at all in this box. And that is his All-Star solo card. We've hit where he's in a group shot, but not the solo card. Very interesting that we have not hit that at all. Here's another Kevin McHale. I'll have to show you, remind you here, what that card is. Let me pull up the cards from the other box. So this is that card. We have not pulled any of those yet from this rack box. Very surprising. We've hit, gosh, at least threes of all his other cards. And here's the 4th league leader card, and that has a, right there, a little printing flaw. Not the best centering either. Got, I think, more of those league leader cards than anything else. Just double checking it in. Yeah, okay. Didn't want to miss anything. Curious though why I haven't hit his other All-Star card. Makes me wonder if we even will. And then we end it with a Kevin Johnson. I think we've only got the one Karl Malone so far. So maybe at least get another Karl Malone to ensure we get 2 sets of the Schoolyard Stars. That's another league leader. That has the same print error as the last one. Same spec, same spot. Definitely racking up those team leaders now. Most of them are not the greatest condition. They're not bad. Don't get me wrong, they're not bad. Definitely keepers, but not good enough to get graded. And our last little bunch, let's see if we can get Karl Malone here. Looks like another Kevin Johnson. Another Kevin Johnson coming up. Here's a Vlade, so we should be getting a base Jordan here. And there it is. It's not perfectly centered, but otherwise it's in great shape. Still a shame that we can't get a perfectly centered one because we certainly have no problem with the corners. Those are all very sharp. And here's our Kevin. Oh, excuse me. It's getting late. Here's our Kevin Johnson. We are down to 1, 2, I have 8 more rack packs. Still got quite a bit to go through. So still got some more Jordan opportunities. Nothing there. Except I do like that Sean Kemp slam dunk. That's a cool card. Always nice to get Magic Johnson. And our last grouping has got the Karl Malone. So I'm pretty sure that means we've got 2 sets now. Oh, there's a lot of staining here, and there's some staining on the Karl Malone. Well, that's unfortunate. There's Akeem Olajuwon, Dominique, and our Karl Malone. Happy to see that. Not happy to see the staining, but that's okay. Alrighty. Interesting to see how many Jordans we end up with compared to the there's that Sean Kemp again, compared to the jumbo box. 26. But that would make sense that we get more in that box. There are more cards. 53 per pack, and this is 42 per pack. Kevin McHale, Isaiah Thomas, John Stockton. Let's see if we can get another. Let's see if we can get another Karl Malone Schoolyard Star, and we did get another Karl Malone. Good. This time without the staining. So it might be well on our way. I think I need a few more Chris Mullins, but well on our way to getting 3 sets. Akeem Olajuwon, Dominique. All right, we have 6 more packs remaining. 6 more rack packs. That's still well over 200 cards to go through. There's a Larry Bird on the front. Nice Sean Kemp card. That's his base card. And our last little bit, let's see if we can get a Chris Mullin. I think I need him. I've only got one of him so far. It's another Alvin Robertson. Another Michael Jordan. This one, same situation with the centering. I think all of these ended up being like this for the red border. It's just really a lot thicker at the bottom. And there's our Alvin Robertson. All right, I think we got 5 whole rack packs left. No Jordans there. And that's not the Jordan. Mitch Richmond, Stockton, Dennis Rodman, Pat Riley. It's really off-centered. And for our Schoolyard Star, it's another Alvin Robertson. I think I got more of him than anyone else. I got that Jordan again, same deal. The border's just much thicker there. They're all cut like that. So it must all come from the same sheet, and they were just all cut the same way. And there's our Alvin Robertson. All right, 4 packs to go. Looks like a Michael Jordan card. I think it's a, must be an all-star card. Magic Johnson. And, oh, this is the one that Michael Jordan must be back there. So this is the one I've been passing by. Ricky Pierce and Michael Jordan appear to be watching an episode. Okay, so he's back there watching. But that one's never been considered a Michael Jordan card, even though his name is mentioned, simply because he's kind of in the, more in the background. Phil Jackson, Hakeem Olajuwon. And our last little bit, hoping to get a Chris Mullin. And it's a Kevin Johnson. There's a Scottie Pippen. There's a Jordan. Very well centered, actually, but then it's got the little white speck. Oh, the right border doesn't look perfect. It's really good, except for that white speck. It's just a bummer that happens very often, actually. There's our Kevin Johnson. Looks like I'm gonna have to open up a new pack of sleeves since I've been sleeving all these Schoolyard Stars. All right, 3 rack packs left to go. Not the Jordan. We got another league leaders this time. It's got that same flaw. Man, the other two had it also. So these just come from the same sheets. They just have the same cuts, the same flaws. Which, if that's the case, is a little disappointing because seems like the rest of these cards we go through in these 3 packs are, even if we hit Jordan, they're just not going to be in tip-top shape. Clyde Drexler, I haven't got many of him. And we have not gotten that Michael Jordan All-Star in this box. Dave Robinson is really off-centered. That's surprising to me that we've not hit a single one of those. That I don't understand. We hit plenty of them in the other 2 boxes. Here's Vlade, so didn't quite make it to Michael Jordan. Remember when we hit Vlade, a couple cards in, we hit the base Jordan, but it probably would have been right here, but we got Chris Mullin instead. I did say I wanted Chris Mullin on the Schoolyard, but I think I'd rather have the Jordan base card. All right, 2 more packs. 2 more packs. Trying to look through to see if maybe the Jordan was on the front here. You just can't see through them. It was a Bulls. It was B.J. Armstrong. Larry Bird. And our last little bit, we're going to see an Isaiah Thomas. And here's the Michael Jordan base. That's the one we were looking for. But again, the centering, that's just the theme on this box. This centering leaves much to be desired. Sharp corners on these cards, no damage, but the centering kind of takes it all away. And there's our Isaiah Thomas. So we have one more pack to go. And that'll do it for this Rack Pack box and this 3-part series. I don't know about you, but I have definitely gotten my fix of 91-92 Fleer. I have definitely gotten my fix. Although I did not get my Provisions fix. I got the whole set. I did get the Jordan, but considering how many cards we went through, I would like to hit a few more of them. And no Jordan there. Can we hit one more Jordan here in the last little bit? And no. And we end it with another Isaiah Thomas. All right, so let's tally them up. Here's our big empty box. All right, so for the Rack Pack box, we got 24 Schoolyard Stars. I'm not going to go through all of them. And we completed at least 2 sets. I think it was just 2. Depends how many Chris Mullins we got. No big deal there. This has been pretty standard for all 3 of our boxes. To just have this huge stack of Hall of Famers and veterans. Not a big deal. Got more than enough of these guys. So many duplicates. But it comes down to the Michael Jordans. And let's see. I've got 4 of this particular All-Star card. We got 4 of this one. And may I remind you, we got 0 of his solo All-Star card, which is really surprising. Got a bunch of these league leaders. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got 8 of them. And of course, the most important card, the base card, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, the disappointing thing was that none of these had perfect centering. There was 1 or 2 that might have been okay. And then they had those little, let's see if I can pull it up. These little print flaws here, these little circles. Let's count out the Jordans though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. All right, so 21 Jordans in the Rack Pack box. So there's our Rack Pack box. We got 21 Jordans. Whoops, all these got put together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I remember these first 13 were in the wax box, and then we had 26 in the jumbo box. So the jumbo box takes the win for the most Jordans. The jumbo box also had the most cards, so it makes sense. This is about the right math. There's just a few more jumbo cards in the jumbo box, so a few more Michael Jordans. A lot less cards in the whack box, a lot less Michael Jordans. So we got 13, 26, and 21. So 45, 55, 58 total. So we met our goal of 50. My initial goal was 30. That was easily defeated. When it comes down to it, though, let's see if I make a little bit more room here. Do my final little wrap up. When it comes down to it, I'm kind of still torn between what's the best bang for your buck. Now, in this situation, if you're going just completely financial, it was I'd have to say the jumbo box. Because not only did we hit the most Jordans, but they were in great shape. Great shape. Excuse me for yawning. It's getting late. The rack box would have been pretty good too, but it actually cost more. It cost about $25 more, and we got less Jordans. Now, we got these Schoolyard Stars, but they are nothing special. Likewise, we got these Rookie Sensations in the jumbo box, but they're nothing special. Now, these are something special, and we only got them in the wax box. The wax box was 60 bucks. So, if the Jordans in the Provisions were as nice of a condition that we got these cards in the jumbo box, if they were just as nice in the wax box, this is the best bang for the buck, in my opinion. These are a lot more popular, worth a lot more than these other inserts. The Provisions are only in the wax box. They're not in jumbo or the rack. So it came down to condition, because the condition was so nice, and the fact there were more cards, but it just made sense. More cards, more Jordans. You spent more money. If it came down to condition, and if these were nice condition, this would actually be the best bang for your buck. Just going with a simple wax box. Now, I'm going to guess that not all of them are like that. And you may find a wax box where they're really good condition. If you can get a wax box for 60 bucks, like I did, go for it. I think it's worth it. I just want to say I got unlucky. I can't imagine they'll be like this. Maybe they are. Maybe it's tough to find them well-centered. If you want to go for bulk, get the jumbo. The rack pack, I'd pass. It was the most expensive, and yeah, if it had the Provisions, that could have probably won, but it didn't. So there it is. So hopefully that was some good education for you. If you're thinking of getting some 91, 92 Fleer, I think it's definitely worth it. They are some of the cheapest ones out there, and you can get a ton of different Michael Jordans. And if those Jordans, you know, grade nicely, 9s or especially 10s, you'll get your money back and then some. Ton of nostalgia, a lot of variety, but only so much, because when you buy 3 boxes like I did, you start hitting duplicates like crazy. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't watch the other 2, go back and watch those. They're a lot of fun also. And I think that's going to be it for now when it comes to 91, 92 Fleer. I don't know if I'll ever open another pack again. I may want to pick up one of these Jordans in better condition, but there's no reason to go through a whole box for that. So someday I'll send these off, some of these better ones that I got out of the jumbo box. I'll send them off to PSA and see what we get back. But anyways, it's been fun. Thanks for sticking around and watching, and look forward to seeing you in some future videos.